Hey, what's happening? Coach Ryan Family here from the Viper Pit. Today we're going to talk about the bench press a little bit. Everybody's favorite lift. Great for building strength. Can be very good for a lot of people for building a big chest as well. I'm going to talk about one of the most important things with the bench press, and that is bar path. A lot of people don't talk about this, but it's critical for success in building your strength. There's two common mistakes that I see when a lot of people are bench pressing in the gym. The first one deals with the wrist, and the second one deals with the elbow. When you bench press, you want the bar to be in line with the wrist and the elbow, and those joints should be vertical from the ground, completely perpendicular to the ground in the bottom position when the bar is on your chest, as well as throughout the whole movement. What I see is people make these two common mistakes and they get out of position a little bit. So I'm going to show you what they look like here, but keep in mind the number one rule for a good bar path in the bench press is wrists stacked on top of elbows, bar stacked on top of wrists, stacked on top of elbows, all perpendicular to the floor. So a lot of people will say, one cue that I hear a lot is, touch the barbell to your chest at your nipple line, okay? That's a good cue for some people, but where the bar hits on your chest is a function of how long your humerus is. There's not one universal spot where everyone should touch. Someone with a really long humerus might be touching closer to their belly button in order to keep that forearm vertical to the ground. So I'll show you what I mean here. I'll do a few reps with an empty bar just so you can see. I'll use a closer grip. So we talk about the grip. Here is mistake number one that I see. People will have the bar bent back in their wrists. Okay, that puts the bar, it's not directly over the shank of my forearm, and it's not over the elbow anymore. So you gotta roll the wrist up, keep it nice and tight. It's not gonna be back in the pads of your hands, it's gonna be right down over your wrist. Knuckles pointing towards the sky. Now, when we look at where we lower it, we wanna keep the forearm vertical to the ground. So for me, that's pretty low. That's like the bottom of my rib cage where I need to lower the bar. If I were to use the standard advice of lowering it to my nipple line, what happens? My elbows shoot forward under the bar and it becomes more of a triceps extension than a bench press. So everything vertical, pushing up, okay? Nothing wrong with training your triceps from time to time in that manner. You could use it as an auxiliary exercise, but in the main barbell bench press, barbell stacked on top of wrists, stacked on top of elbows, everything perpendicular to the ground, knuckles to the sky. I'm Coach Ryan Family. I hope you build a big bench with this tip.